On July 24, 1979, Commissioner Ambach participated in a videotape production designed to orient teachers to the degrees of reading power test. This teacher training program was distributed to schools by all BOCES and city educational communications centers.
Today, we're going to look at a new instructional management tool called Degrees of Reading Power, which should help make the job of teaching and evaluating reading skills a good deal more efficient. With us today is New York Education Commissioner Gordon Ambach. Commissioner Ambach, you've been the guiding force in the development of the Degrees of Reading Power test. Why was the DRP test developed?
We were not satisfied that we had other tests that could meet our objectives. Other tests measure the difference between one student and another. Can John read better than Joe? We needed tests which would give us an indication of how well both John and Joe could read, what level of difficulty of material they could actually comprehend in their reading. And so we began to develop the Degrees of Reading Power.
Commissioner, how does the DRP test differ from all the other reading tests?
Well, the DRP provides a way in which you can relate the capacity or competence of the student to the level of difficulty of particular materials. And that means not just textbooks or other items that children might read. You can relate the competence as judged by the test to magazines, to newspapers, to any other kinds of materials that someone might want to comprehend. And that means that we have a measure of what is the real capacity, what is the real level of reading of a student. That means a student, whether it be in school or an adult who could be a student.
How do you see the DRP test as a help to the teachers?
Well, we've tried it to see whether it would help the teachers, and it very clearly does. The test gives us an indication of the capacity or competence of the student. The same techniques that are used in the test can be applied to judging the difficulty of reading materials. What the teacher then can do is to match the right level of difficulty of material to the capacity of the student, or match the materials to be a little bit more difficult than the student's capacity. That means that the student is not frustrated because the materials are too difficult, but that the student has a level of difficulty of material that will make the student stretch and learn in the reading, and we've seen in the results that this leads to improved capacity to comprehend in reading.
And this is how the DRP test helps the students?
Just as the teacher can match the materials in the right way, then the student has the advantage that the student is working with materials that are really going to genuinely keep the interest, not frustrate the student, be of help in stretching on to higher and higher levels of performance. Now, none of the other tests that have been developed in the past can really do this. None of the techniques, both of assessing the difficulty of material and the way in which you test capacity, have been able to do this. And we are indeed very pleased and proud that we've been able to develop these tests, which are being used in New York State, and we hope will be used outside of the state very extensively.
Thank you, Commissioner Ambach.